Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. This will probably be a longer share. I entreat you to watch the whole thing because our lives are at stake, and I mean deliberately at stake. First, I want to thank the two amazing sisters. I never use people's names because there must be something so dangerous about revealing the truth on man-made radiation that I'm the only black person doing it, even though we got tons of black folks pontificating that they're just the most intelligent folks out there. I know I'm not the most intelligent black person. I know I'm pretty daggone good, but at the same time, that's why I don't mention people's names. When you do what I am so grateful for, which is to assist me in getting a vital warning out that I don't know how many more books do I have to read before I convince everybody that this is the most well hidden unaliving of black you and me there is. Now, that said, I once again thank you, sisters, for your orders of the soap and the silk care. They're on their way. I need you watching. If you have not found out that my skills are broadly based, so that I write books, I make my own handcrafted soaps and goods, and Dr. She does the same in terms of our overall healing. Go to 25000yearscycle.org if you have not done that yet, and purchase our products there, where you will find the rescue you seek. Okay, it's that simple. And you could chat with Dr. She and go over specifically a protocol that will lead you to a better person that you've always known you could be. You just didn't know how to get there. I know that because, oh my goodness, my whole life has been transformed from knowing that, brother. Now, that said, this is a very serious alert. Scream! Please share this video, even though it's probably going to be long, but it has to be in order to showcase what I'm warning you about, which is that the United States government, U.S. government, wants to buy more canned salmon. And, oh, let me put my glasses on here. The U.S. government has expanded the use of canned salmon in programs for women, infants, and children this year. Now, the U.S. government, why in the world would they be using salmon specifically? It doesn't just say it's going to increase the use of fresh fish. It says salmon specifically. I had to go grab these photos of the spotting that was infesting the salmon everywhere that they were being caught. And now, here's a clip from a share I did a year ago almost. Yeah, actually it is a year ago, going over the incredible disappearance of the salmon. God damn, this is crazy. Columbia River mainstream. This is the tributary fishery report for March 20 to 26 of this year. Okay, let's try to outline. Yep, there we go. March 29, 2023. Just yesterday by the time I'm recording this. This is the main stem, Columbia River. And this is for the salmon and the steelhead that they were fishing for. 66 bank anglers. Let me explain what bank anglers are. An angler is a specific type of fishing rod that is designed to increase the rate of catch. And many, as it says, right, why are fishermen called anglers? It's not the name of a type of fish. And there may be something out there called angler, but in this report, they're talking about fishermen. 66 bank anglers, meaning the fishermen were lined up on the bank, and they released only one steelhead. That means they caught one that was way too tiny, and they had to throw it back.
And then section 2, this is different parts of the Columbia River. 4 boats, 6 rods, had no catch. Let's just keep going. Let's not even read the number or anything. 2 bank anglers had no catch. 12 boats, 21 rods, no catch. 29 bank anglers, no catch. 44 boats, 78 rods, kept 2 Chinook. 19 bank anglers had no catch. 27 boats, 39 rods, kept 1 Chinook. 27 bank anglers had no catch. 40 boats, 116 rods, had no catch. 8 boats, 19 rods, no catch. 79 bank anglers kept 2 steelhead and released 2 steelhead. 103 boats, 208 rods released. Only 2 Chinook and 1 steelhead.
And so given that disappearance, and the U.S. government is also now allowing in all Fukushima food. Here's the update from them. The FDA is deactivating import alert 99-33. But on top of that, now they gotta specifically ship more canned salmon. But how's that possible when the salmon are disappearing? And they know. There's a book, the one of the many books that I've read going over radiation, called The Pet Cow Effect, where it explains how there's a superlineal and then there's a linear graph effect, where when they post the numbers, you figure with ordinary pollution, it becomes more toxic the more there is. But when it comes to radiation, it's actually superlineal, where the less radiation you have, the more disastrous it is. And this whole book went over and explained that effect based on the research of a scientist by the name of Pet Cow, who found that 1 atom of radiation your body is going to allow in to the cell, because it doesn't necessarily recognize it as a threat, especially, and this is what my research has also proven, especially if you are in a nutrient deprived body or condition, then it's going to see many of these isotopes, which are named after different minerals and vitamins. It's going to absorb it as if it's one of those vitamins, such as they were feeding radioactive iron to pregnant women, and then they would examine the fetuses, and they have graveyards filled with dead fetuses as a result of radiation contamination that are still off limits because the fetuses' bodies are that radioactive. The people who are buried there, they're that radioactive. And so the Pet Cow effect is something that is well known. They've had hearings in Congress over the results of low dose radiation. And so this is not something new. They know about it. That's why they're specifically targeting poor people with salmon, because the salmon prices are going up. The government will be looking for the cheapest stuff, but they're looking for the stuff that you can barely find, and that would be the salmon are missing because of the radiation, and that's because certain creatures will absorb a larger proportion of radioactive isotopes. That's why they hide the full effect. I mean, farm salmon prices could hit highest levels since 2016. Of course they're going to hit incredibly high levels. Anything that there's less of, the prices go through the roof. Well, I have reported how the U.S. government is buying up all the seafood products from Japan and the U.S. military, and I put that on the front of my YouTube channel just so that I could warn as many as possible. Even though it's not a video that's ever going to garner a lot of views, I don't care. Somebody's got to say something. That's why for me, Drake is all about unaliving us, where we're caught up in, they'll just keep throwing stuff like P. Diddy has been pulled down, and what's the other the dude's name? I don't know. LeBron James. There's some poster that was put together at a New York City school for pre-K, for K to 12, and it was, I mean, it was just so like cheap shot racist, like, oh, boo-hoo, whatever. And I guess I look and I'm like, it could either be a situation where LeBron James might have been encouraging somebody to put up this poster, because when he was complaining that, oh, they graffitied my garage door with the N-word, and it made me so scared. And, you know, good brothers out there were calling him out over, you LeBron James. And they just sprayed graffiti, and we never got to see the picture of it on your garage door, and that makes you a multi-millionaire afraid? It's like, stop. So sometimes they'll set stuff up so they can get the sympathy from regular black you and me. When the attack comes, then we'll rally to their side. When, you know, it's not LeBron James, but yeah, every time these guys open something, there's always white people showing up. And when you see the white people, then you know the propaganda, the lies, the BS is all going to be up in there. And that reminds me to just reiterate, reparations will never save us. Never, ever, ever, because it's not gaining control over our own sovereignty. It's just going to be a bribe money. The same racist cops will be there. The same system will be set up meant to fool us. It's not going to help. We need to just know enough is enough. It's about separation. We don't need the white people. Okay? But anyway, when it comes to all of these different distractions and what is it, oppression porn merry-go-round, it's to keep us from paying attention from the extensive unaliving that is targeted at us specifically. Because if this salmon is going to poor families, people who are dependent on the social welfare system, I'm not saying it ain't going to be the white people too, because they're the ones who actually get more social programs than anybody else. And I'm just saying, white people don't care about other white people, obviously, right? But they can decide which particular cities will get this salmon and which ones won't. And so the salmon prices are just soaring all over the daggone place. It's not like, you know, you can't find the logic in that. But I just want you to understand, it was a white guy on my post about Trump and Biden being the same person, basically, who shared that in Israel, I think they already had it because it is attached to Passover, and Passover was over at the end of April. But they were sacrificing Red Bulls. I'm just like, yo, dudes, that sounds super satanic Baphometic to me. I'm just saying. But when you look at the attacks on different black individuals and the setup to further stereotype us as we are the face of wokery, when we were just a week ago the most homophobic people on the planet, hallelujah for that. And now, anytime there's any wokery going on, they got to throw our faces up in there. I see they kind of calm that down a little bit, because a lot of us might have been mentioning, wait a minute, what? We don't own these hospitals that are actually administering these toxic hormone injections, medications to children. I don't care how many Michelle Obamas they find to put up there. right? But they'll use their Negropean elites up top to then bash just regular you and me, as if we are the source of all of this stuff, rather than George Soros paying the college students to get in the middle of something that has absolutely not a daggone thing to do with us, right? And pay them to say, oh, Hitler's final solution. Stop. The final solution is on our plates. That's where it is. That's the gas tanks, the showers, right there. I realize I'd be doing you wrong if I didn't add that in the book, No Immediate Danger, written by nuclear physicist Rosalie Bertell, she said the way that the government has set it up so they could get away with lying to the public about the hazards of man-made radiation is they will go by whatever culture we are perpetuating one to the other, and they'll manipulate that culture, we know. And so with the use of all of these different paid operatives and just celebrities, and they have taken advantage of our human nature to stare at the immediate car crash, do that rubbernecking, so that we don't see. We've won. We've won. I've said it before, and I am prepared to say it a million more times just today, next day too, okay? When you kill oceans, you lose. You lose. So we have to step away from the Drake beef mindset, whatever the next thing that they're going to orchestrate is going to be. We don't have to stop it altogether. I know we get our little kikis off the whole thing, but I'm just saying it's on our plates. They're unaliving plans for us, and it won't take but a second to share the warning so that you could let your family and friends know. Leave the canned salmon, the sea moss, the free rice from Japan, leave it all alone. Get the warning out and support your soldiers. So share this warning. I hope it actually isn't even as long as I thought it would be. So let me just be quiet and say, go to 25000yearcycle.org and support a sister like me, because there's no other, and that is really weird, okay? I love you. Straight Black family pride is our deed to forever. Peace and blessings.